Two. All right, guys, welcome back. This is Halo MCA. We're doing some patch notes today. We're gonna do patch 13.16. I just wanted to do a quick rundown of everything with my friend Drew over here. Say hi, Drew.
What's up, everybody? It's me. I am not an expert on this game, but I can read and talk about what I see.
That's all we require. All right.
Perfect.
So we're just gonna do a quick patch note rundown, and don't mind this other channel over here. I'm just trying to catch it when it ticks over to 300, but I might miss it. We'll see. Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, let's dive straight into it. Um, so it says Split 2 is going full steam ahead, and what better way to keep the ranked journey entertaining than with a new patch? Welcome to 13.16. In this week's patch, we have quite a few changes coming at you, both on Summoner's Rift and in Arena. On the Rift side of things, we have some follow-up tweaks to Nefiri, a plan to take Shaco's boxes a little bit less magical and annoying, quite a few buffs to a wide variety of champs, and a quality of life change for everyone's favorite Void Dad. It's Cassidon? Or,
Has to be.
I think?
Has to be.
On the arena front, we've got 44 changes, mainly looking to bolster champions that could use the help in arena while addressing some overperforming champions, augments, and items. We also have a new batch of Immortal Journey skins gracing the Rift, blah blah blah. We don't need to worry about the skins. That's fine. Alright, so this is
What
a quick
everyone's here for, the skins.
overview. I know, yeah. I mean, hey, that Immortal Journey Sona kind of looks nice on the splash at least.
Yeah, it does look cool.
Oh, and this Prestige too. Anyways, we got quite a few things going on here. It's got the skew for what they're nerfing and changing on things depending on average skilled, elite, and pro.
A lot of buffs, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, quite a
Yeah.
few, like double at least. All right, so first up we got a Kali. It says Q energy cost decreased, base damage increased, and the rundown is Akali isn't doing too great across multiple skill brackets and could use some sharper and more lethal weapons in her bag of ninja tools. Our goals in this patch are to make Akali's energy costs less prohibitive during her laning phase and to give her trades more bite to make her opponents second guess trading into this shinobi. Believe it? That must be a reference to some movie or something.
Has to be. Yeah.
Alright, so Q 5 point strike is going energy cost 130 to 70, and it's going down to 110 to 70. So what, 20 points early, and then 15, so it's down by 5 each level. For
Yeah, it
cool
should.
noises.
I feel like it'll help her spam it maybe a bit more in
Yep,
lane. Um, I don't know, I
definitely.
don't see too many Akalis, but maybe that's because she isn't in a good spot, so
Yeah,
could could help. I feel like when she's good, she's all over pro play. Like
yeah, pretty
the
much.
pros love playing Akali. So the fact that we don't see her as much makes me think she's weak. So um, I guess it doesn't say why they buffed her, but I have a
Not
feeling that
exactly.
she's probably pretty weak right now, just because I feel like the pros would be playing her if possible.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a pretty good buff. Obviously the energy cost isn't the only thing. We got the damage change as well. So the AD scaling, AP scaling are the same. It's going up 5 points every level, pretty much. So it's not like a huge deal, but she does a lot of times she'll double Q pretty quickly in succession. So this is effectively like
Hmm.
10 points instead of 5.
Yep.
And
Yep. 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 That's a good point.
I think they've been buffing her either once or twice before on the same damage as well. So I think this was like 35 last patch and going
It's been
up by
going up
5.
and up and up. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're definitely knocking her up. I wonder if we'll see her at Worlds. It's not like a huge
I
change, but the placebo might work. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I personally, every time I see it, feels like it doesn't feel like a good matchup, but I feel it seems like the pro teams there's a lot of people who like to play Akali into Azir.
Oh, really?
Um,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
like they kind of consider it like a counter in a sense, or like something they can abuse Azir with. And to me, it just looks like it would be so hard. But then
Yeah.
again, I'm not a pro, so
Same,
that's probably
same.
why. So I know Azir is really popular right now. So maybe they're trying to buff up Akali, so
Yep,
we can see that as a response.
definitely. That's probably what's happening. Another thing is, I think, do you know if Akali her E dash and her ults go through a zero wall or no, or does it push you back?
I don't I don't think it goes through, but I think the shroud makes it so the soldiers can't like
That's
over
true. Yeah,
as
yeah.
easily. Yeah, yeah.
She's definitely the Shroud is definitely really good against any auto attack or like trying to click on you champions for sure.
Yup, yup, yup.
Okay, so pretty interesting buff there. We got Brand up next, so this is passive mana restoration increased, QAP scaling increased, and then we got the EAP scaling increase as well. I kind of did a quick overview. Actually watched LS's video on the patch notes accidentally. I was trying to keep away from it, but
Yeah.
I really had to it was drawn in really. So anyway, it says contrary to popular belief, Brand has not been on fire in solo queue. Ah ha ha, especially in the mid
Good.
lane.
Good one.
While many players opt to play Brand as a support, we also want to make sure he's still a viable mid lane option. I think this is the second. Is this the first or second round of buffs for him in a row? I think it's the second, right?
Um, I think it's second. He got a buff a little bit ago, I believe.
Yeah. So to that end, we'll be increasing the mana restoration on his passive to help him better sustain his mana pools in mid. We'll also be increasing the AP ratios on his Q and E to better bring out Brand's primary strength of dealing damage, while not increasing the reasonable amount of damage his W and R already do. So we got passive is going from mana restoration up 10 every level, which we don't know exactly what level it is, but maybe it's linearly like 1 through 6 to 1 through 18, not sure. But that's nice. That's really nice. I
Yeah.
wonder, let's see. So if you would I'd have to do the math out on it, but I think WE is like usually your main for source of wave clear,
Yep.
or
Yep.
even EW sometimes depending on the situation. But assuming that it one shot the whole wave, your W costs like I think I'd have to look it up. It's somewhere around like 90 or 110 mana maybe, and then your E is like 60 or something or 80 maybe. So this definitely doesn't recoup everything, but this is like a really big change for sure. It's definitely helps him a lot, especially mid lane. Of course, as support, you're not going to be um, last hitting minions, so it's pretty much useless. But yeah,
Yeah, I feel like in support, at least at the lower elos, I feel like I'm always going. I don't play him that much support, but when I do, I always take the cookie rune.
yep, yep,
So I never feel like I'm running low on mana, but like to your point, I'm also not farming, and
yeah,
I pretty much just eat the cookies to restore the mana, and then like once you get an item or two, it feels like it's not really an issue.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
um,
What's your like
yeah,
lost chapter, or even if you're gonna
yep,
go like the Archangel's route or something with tier, it's not really a big problem,
yeah,
but it can definitely be a problem if you're play like me where you just hit
fair.
hit buttons on cooldown pretty much.
Yeah, or mid, like you said, I think mid. Yeah, this he will maybe show up in the mid lane a few times now because
Yeah,
he won't. I think that was a problem. He would kind of to in order to keep up with like wave clear, he would just burn through all his mana. So this
yep,
could definitely help.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I hope to see him at Worlds. I don't think we'll see him.
I feel like he's one of those that is never they're never gonna play this guy on
Yeah,
the professional
I want to say they
level.
played him like maybe 2013 or 14 or something, but that's been a
I,
long time.
I feel like there's champions where even if they're good, they're like, no, I'm like there's no honor in this, or like
Right.
I'm gonna get made fun of for playing this
Yeah, yeah,
champion,
yeah.
so I'm not doing it.
Exactly.
Um, versus they could nerf like Renekton a million times and they're still gonna
Still
play
play him.
Renekton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got the Q seer. Obviously, Q and E. The only thing changed is they're going. So it says 10% more AP, which is actually pretty significant. But
hmm Especially for mid lane because you're getting
yeah,
more AP. So yeah.
exactly. Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, even support, I think it definitely helps because I don't think you build as many support items on brand, even if you are support, correct? Or no?
Nah, not really. Yeah,
Yeah.
if you're going brand support, you everyone knows what time it is. You're going damage
Burn
items.
forever.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's definitely really nice. Also watched Freak's quick rundown, which he was part of the team doing the changes and stuff, and he said this was maybe a typo and it's only supposed to be 5% up for each of them. So I'm not 100% sure. We'd have to double check in game, but
Either way, nice, but yeah, 10% is
yeah,
pretty huge, I
it's
feel like.
pretty nice. Once again, I do want to mention one thing real fast though about these because most of Brand's damage really doesn't come from his abilities actually hitting you, so the base damage isn't super significant. It's mostly from his passive burn and his 3 hit from his passive with the max health damage. So this definitely helps, but it's not like it's not really humongous or anything. I just want to note that real fast because like it's going so the your E's going to do 170 base damage, and then of course plus the 45. So say you have like 300 AP, that's going to be what 150ish, 160, 170, something like that bonus. So it's only doing like 300 damage, which like mid to late game that's like not much, but your passive's going to be doing like hundreds and hundreds of damage like so I just
Yeah,
wanted to mention that.
I feel like it might help. Yeah, because it doesn't really. I guess it doesn't tick up till a bit
Yeah, so
later.
early on
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
okay, but you're still not going to be building a lot of AP really early on either.
yeah. To
So
take advantage of it. Yeah,
it's super nice, but I just don't want people to overreact and say it's like really broken. But the passive, the mana thing is pretty nice, pretty awesome.
I think that's the best part. Yeah, that's definitely the best part of what they're changing.
100%. All right, let's move on. So we got Caitlyn. Oh
Okay.
yeah, this is the
Before,
best.
okay, yeah, Freak was a part of this. All right.
Okay, so Caitlyn, passive attacks per headshot reduced. Caitlyn's been hurting for a while, and her buffs from the previous patch didn't power her up as much as we had wanted. We still like her caring about auto attacks and crits, but there's only so far we're willing to push individual headshot damage. So instead, we're providing her with more headshots. So the base stats are head attacks per headshot goes from 7 to 6. I'll go ahead and start with your thoughts on this.
Well, this is like the second buff in a row. I
Yeah,
actually think potentially. I'm trying to. I don't know how the math would. I feel like this is actually a bigger buff than what they did before
yeah, I
because I
think so
mean
too.
it I'm just trying to like in my head figure out how many more headshots this gets you per laning phase and like per game.
Yep,
Um, because you have to remember it's six, right? But in the bush, it counts as two. So
yep.
I feel like she's gonna be able to just. I think people might underestimate this, like the amount of headshots if she's able to have like bush control in lane that she can just throw out now is gonna be pretty annoying. I feel like.
Yes, 100%. This is actually, in my opinion, super huge. I don't know if it's gonna push her straight into pro or anything, but it's like it's pretty massive actually. I think the last patches on 13.15 were pretty nice because of the base crit modifier is actually like underutilized. People don't really understand what that means exactly, but it was definitely a nice change. But it's not gonna put her into like pro or anything with like the likes of Kaisa and Zaya and all the people that are strong right now. But yeah, this attacks per headshot's kind of crazy. So quick note, I think Freak told this in both of his quick, like the preview and the patch rundown, but basically what this has not been changed for a long time. Probably at least since like what season? I think it's been there since the beginning of Caitlyn, but
Yeah, it's been there a long time.
yeah, even if it wasn't, it's been at least since like 2013, 2014 at minimum.
Yeah.
So this is pretty big. The main thing, like you were saying in the bush, what would happen is, so your seventh shot is the headshot. So what would happen in the bush is each bush shot counts as two autos. So towards this count rather. So basically, going from 7 to 6 is you would have to auto 4 times before to get your headshot, and it would actually shoot the headshot out at the same time as your fourth auto attack. But now this is going to be your third auto will shoot it out as well. So basically, so it would be 6 autos actually to gain the headshot, and then your seventh shot would be the headshot.
Okay,
Now
yeah.
it's going to be 5.
That's
Yeah,
autos the gain it and then the sixth one. That's how I kind of
exactly.
remembered. Yeah, it works. So yeah, that's what I'm like, for shooting out of the bush. It's gonna be kind of gross now.
Yeah, so it goes from 4 shots to 3. So that's of course only in the bush, but even if you weren't in the bush, this is still massive. Like
Yeah,
this goes from like 14 autos to 12 autos already, just from like two
I mean, just
headshots.
think about like it's really good for a lane, obviously with the bushes, but yeah, think
Yep.
about like late game team fights.
How many times do auto?
Like
Yeah.
maybe you're getting off like old Caitlyn, you maybe get off one or two headshots. Like unless it goes really long and then it's like three, but now you could be getting a ton of headshots off in a late game team fight, which yeah, that damage will
Yeah.
for sure stack up.
It's so nice. I do want to actually make a quick video or at least like kind of theory test something because I wanted to see how many times you actually auto attack in a game as an ADC because that's not really a
Mm,
stat anyone tracks that I can tell.
yeah.
Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so that'd be really interesting to find out because that would actually like literally tell you how many more headshots you're gonna
Yep.
get than anything else. It also would help when they do like base stat changes, like plus 280 or minus 280. It actually tells you like a lot of information, how much damage you're actually losing or gaining, which is quite a lot if you're an ADC because you're attacking the entire game. So
Nice little buff for Ivern jungle too. More
yeah,
bushes, more headshots.
yeah, yeah,
Ocean Drake, more
definitely.
bushes, more headshots. So yeah, I don't know. Kaylin's gonna be. I think the other buffs last patch were nice, and then this is. I feel like we're gonna see her in
Yeah, I think
pro
there's a definite
play
chance.
probably.
Yep. So yeah, it's really nice for her. It's awesome. And then let's move on to Echo. We got Q initial base damage increased and slow increase early. Uh-oh. W base shield value increased, and then
Right?
okay, so we got Echo has been weak across all skill brackets from some time now. I know he hasn't been like picked very much recently, so that's probably why. So we're looking to add some power back into his kit in a way that will benefit him in the mid lane, where interacting with him is a bit more meaningful. He's currently weak to ranged harass as intended, but we want to make playing him a bit more bearable into those matchups. So we'll be giving him more poke in the form of a Q1 buff, more slow slash chase down potential to use W aggressively, and more base shield strength when using it defensively. So we got Q time winder, initial magic damage is going up by 10 every level. AP ratio is unchanged, and then the slow is going up 8 on the first. What's that? 6. So 8, 6, 4, 2, 0. Each level. So it's early. You're getting a lot more slow on it. Of course, this is the first ability you max, so you're still gonna get the max slow pretty quickly. But that's by level 9, right? So that's gonna still
Yeah.
be a little bit of a while. So that's pretty nice already. What do you think?
I think I think good Echo players right now are still pretty scary. Like even in his current state, if
Yeah,
someone's really proficient at Echo, they can still kind of run over the game. But
100%.
I think I think these changes are gonna make it easier for the not as good Echo people to pick him back up.
Yeah,
Which is probably the goal, because to your point, I don't see a lot of Echoes. So it feels like you're either like one tricking him or you don't see him right now. So I think they want to make it more more accessible to, the people who aren't one tricking him.
yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty nice buff for him, but it's not like end of the world or anything. He's not going to be catapulted into being the best mid laner ever.
Yeah.
I wonder if we'll
Yeah.
see it like maybe more jungle echo. Because he does do max health damage with his passive, no? Or is it? I believe because there's
He,
been a lot of
yeah.
tanks in the meta lately, so it's. I wonder if we'll see more echoes jungle. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I've seen him most like currently I see him more jungle than mid. Like
Okay, yeah, yeah,
I'm trying to think. Yeah, when I do see him on the rare occasion, he's been jungle. So
okay,
um I'm sure these will help both mid and jungle, but
yeah,
yeah, I
absolutely.
wouldn't be surprised for him to stay
So they are trying
mostly
to
jungle.
buff him for the mid lane, but we'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah, they try, but
Yeah. Also another thing, LS mentioned that the W shield, so the shield's going up 30, flat 30 every level, which is pretty nice. Um, it's not end of the world or anything, but it's definitely pretty big. The part that scales with AP is the real big part right there. So
yeah.
that is unchanged, so that's not the worst thing. But yeah, he was saying that it makes jungle clear a little bit easier, but uh, other than that, you're not going to be using your W for your shield a whole lot in lane unless you're stunning them anyway. So
Sure. Right, and then you don't really need the shield. Yeah, so like
yeah,
that W, that's a good point. That W is better for like getting the bigger shield helps you just clear the camps
yeah.
healthier.
I mean, it's
So
certainly big. Like, it's certainly nice, but I wouldn't say it's like the gonna be too crazy or anything.
yeah, agreed.
All right, so we got Karma coming up next. So
Ooh,
Q.
karma buffs. I like this.
Yep, you're happy to see this one. All right, it's actually nice for. I don't know if you like are one of the Karma Q maxes or anything for like the damage, but
I have not been for a while because it
okay.
doesn't feel that good, but
Well, they're
maybe
helping you
now.
out here, so. Get ready.
Oh.
All right, so we got the QAP scaling increased, ultimate QAP and scaling increased, and the R cooldown decreased. So Karma isn't quite hitting the bar when it comes to scaling offensively, as she often has to rely on her shields and her less reliable W to contribute in fights post-laning phase. With these changes, we're looking to give Karma some more reliance on her Q come late game as AP increases, and give her more reason to mantra Q. Um, so the Q Ender Flames magic damage going base damage unchanged, and the AP ratio is going up by 10%, which is pretty nice. She does build a little more support items most of the time, so she's not going to be getting as much AP as someone like Brand would get from this kind of type of change, but pretty nice for sure. And then the ultimate empowered Q is also going up by 10% AP. I'm not sure what that typo is right there. Don't worry about that.
I I think it will be good. So normally, this is how I build Karma, right? I've now,
Hmm.
and it's been that way for a while. I think I'll put like 3 points in Q first,
Right.
and that's like in lane phase, and then like once you kind of get 3 points in it, you almost have to start maxing shield, and you kind of like never come back to Q until it's much later in the game. So, um, because yeah, the shields just feel more useful once you're out of laning phase, but.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe you're right. I don't really build full damage on her,
Yeah.
so
What
I feel
would
like
you?
they're always trying to juggle. I was gonna say they're always trying to do, like if they overtune her, all of a sudden she's a top laner. I feel
Yeah.
like so I feel like that's she's a champion where they're always trying to like not overdo it. But yeah, what was your question?
100%. No, I was just gonna ask. What would you say as a support karma that you usually hit to mid to late game in terms of APs? Like 200 most, or are you gonna hit
Yeah, maybe
300,
if
or
you're
is it
like
like 150?
200 would be probably
Okay,
around
so
where you're getting if it's going late game. Yeah.
gotcha. So that's what pretty much 100 more damage
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for every level. So
I'm
it's
just trying to decide if it makes you max Q now, or
yeah,
if you're cool to still like because the base damage doesn't really go up. So
yeah, exactly.
I feel like you might be fine to still put 3 points in the Q, but then just like be happy to have extra damage from there. I'm not
Yeah,
sure. I'll have to
exactly.
play around with it.
For
Yeah.
sure, for sure. I don't think it would matter whether you put points in it because of the AP scaling is the same no matter what level
Yeah.
it is. So
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
exactly. Okay, so we got the R mantra is also reduced the cooldown, so it's the same at level one and 1 through 6, I guess. And then next it's going up by 1 second. Wait, what? Oh no, down by 1 second, then down by two, then down by three. So pretty nice, but I don't think it's the end of the world. What do you think?
Yeah, I'll have to see like with cooldown reduction late because I think maybe
Mm-hmm.
this is you like to use the mantra R as like a form of poke, but
Yeah.
once you're into late game, you're like afraid to poke because if the team fight like breaks out like properly from there, like and teams start going all in, you want to have the mantra E or
Yep.
the team wide shield.
Hmm.
So you're almost like afraid to throw out the mantra Q as poke because you don't know when the team fight's gonna truly start. So
Definitely.
this might, with cooldown reduction, this might make it a little less risky to throw out a mantra Q, like as you're kind of dancing around an objective, and then you'll still have the mantra E when the fight starts out. This might be like I'll have to play with it because it might feel pretty good with like cooldown reduction in the late game, which I think is what they're going for with this
Yeah, definitely. Um, Obviously, I'm not exactly sure how much I guess it's called ability haste now that Karma
ability haste, right? Right.
roughly gets nowadays, but I would say probably she gets maybe around like 25, 35 or so, or
Yeah.
would you say more?
Yeah, because I think there's like a lot of support items have it kind of tacked on in there.
Exactly.
So yeah, she
Yeah.
gets a eight. I think she has an easier time getting ability haste than AP, honestly. So I feel
Yep.
like the cooldown reduction could be, or the ability haste could be pretty nice once you get like 3 points in R.
Yeah, so I mean 40%, if you would say maybe she gets like 47% CDR from the ability case,
Yeah.
like 60 or 80, whatever it is. Um, you would probably be tacking off what like 16 seconds or so. So it's pretty much half the cooldown almost.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah,
So
it's
that could be, yeah, I could see that being good. I could
pretty
see that being
nice.
really good.
Okay, cool. So I think pretty large karma buffs. I think there's a definitely a chance we could see her at Worlds. I think they've already seen her last Worlds when she was playing with Ezreal Karma and a
Hmm.
couple other things, right? So, or I
And
think,
Ezreal's kind of a like a tier two counter right now too.
yeah,
Like I see her take like in when Xayah and Kai'Sa aren't available. So
yep.
yeah, if
Or
Karma's
even into
strong
them, I
too,
think
yeah,
sometimes.
even into them, yeah, yeah, yeah. So if Karma's strong, that'll be I wouldn't be surprised to see her.
Yeah, definitely. All right, so we got the Lucian passive on hit damage is increased. We got Lucian is an exciting champion and fan favorite, but unfortunately it hasn't been performing at this point in time. We'll be increasing the base damage of his passive in order to strengthen his role as a lane bully in a way that should still keep him out of solo lanes. So we got the passive light slinger damage. The bonus damage on hit magic is going up by 5 just on base, so pretty nice. This seems like it would be a early game buff mostly.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, I'm not sure it's gonna mean a whole lot, but it definitely could. This is when he's buffed, right?
yep, yep,
Yeah.
yep, yep, yep. Yeah, when he's buffed and he gets that like bonus on hit. Yeah, so it could be pretty nice. You have to try him with like I feel like you have to play around with him like a lane phase with Nami and then a lane phase with like Milio to
Hmm.
see because then you'll get a like a sense for how like impactful I think the extra damage is.
That's true. Melio is probably a really good pairing with him because he gets that extra range that he doesn't have
Yeah.
normally.
Yes, yeah, Milio is actually I think people like him with Milio now more than Nami even in some
Yeah.
cases.
Well, does the have you played this matchup or no with him as Melio
With
or
like Milio Lucian, yeah, I have. Yeah, yeah.
does it continually give him the buff when your campfire is bouncing around?
It ticks. So
It
don't
was it
know if
just
he gets
once?
it. I think it's just the initial
Okay, that's fair.
burst, like the initial auto that gets it from the campfire. Yeah.
Okay,
But I'm not
okay,
sure. He might get it like twice if it takes the full duration.
that's fair. Yeah, yeah. I think I was playing. We could just ignore that I was playing bots, but I think I was playing bots one time, and I had a Lucian on my team in my lane, and I think I was either playing MF or Ash, and it was continually. I think it was the MF with the E, the rain bullets and all that. Every time it slowed, it would give Lucian a thing, so it was like it was bouncing, and then like half a second later bouncing, half a second later bouncing. So it was continually giving it. So I'm just not sure. I think it changes champ to champ, but yeah, could be really nice. It's probably a nice buff, but I don't think it makes him super S tier or anything.
No, no, I don't think so either.
All right, so we got some more of your support buffs coming in.
Yeah,
Got
hold
Lulu.
on.
Health growth increased, QAP scaling increased, EAP scaling increased, and it says since your much needed pro skewed nerfs back in patch 13.12, Lulu has had some trouble getting back on her feet. While we're hesitant to give her power that will make her much stronger in hyper-coordinated play, we do want to give her power back in a way that will benefit those that play her in solo queue. We expect some AP scaling buffs to do the trick here as they'll give her some more offensive power, but only when she's able to earn the gold to buy that power. So health growth in the base stats is going from 88 to 92, so plus 4 every level. It's definitely nice. And then we got the Q Glitter Lance magic damage going. Uh, Only the AP scaling is going up by 10%, so it's pretty nice. They're saying mid lane, right? Or were they saying?
No, it's got to be, let's see, Soul Cute.
Okay, so they're just trying to make it so that when she supports, she has a little
Yeah,
bit more. When she buys
yep,
gold, she has more opportunity to utilize this pretty much. And
pretty
then we got
much.
E help picks is going magic damage. It's the same thing, up 10%. All right, thoughts?
Um, I don't think these are anywhere near as like important as the karma changes, for example.
Hmm.
They didn't change the base on either of those abilities. The health growth, yeah, you'll obviously feel a little bit tankier, so that's always nice. But Um,
Yep.
since they didn't change the base damages, she doesn't. She's another one who she doesn't build a ton of just like straight AP items. So I don't think it'll be too crazy. It'll be nice, but I don't think it's gonna like make her like top tier, right? Or anything.
Yeah, I think she builds even less AP than Karma might.
She
So,
does. Yeah,
um,
she definitely does. So I think it's I don't know that you'll out of all of this, you probably notice the health go up
yeah, the
more than
most was
anything
it
else.
so
Yeah.
4 times 18 is a number. I think over 100. So
Yeah. Yeah.
wait, no, because 4 times 10 would be 40. So that's like 80-ish, not quite. Mana at max at level 18, so it's not. I mean, mana health. It's not huge, but it's something. She's not as squishy for sure. Either way, I completely agree. It's pretty minimal, but I mean, it's definitely nice for her. It's not too bad. At least she's not getting nerfed or anything.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you'll it'll be fine. Yeah.
Alright, so we got Malzahar E damage tick rate is increased, minion execute threshold is decreased. So, oh, that's interesting. Okay. In this patch, we're adding some small quality of life changes to Malzahar's malefic visions to address some inconsistency issues with last hitting using E. While the lower minion execute threshold might look like a nerf, when combined with the faster damage tick rate, this should result in players more reliably getting last hits on minions, and that's sweet, sweet gold.
Nice.
So, the E malefic visions is getting damage tick rate going half as half the time, so basically twice as fast of a tick rate. And then we got the mid execute threshold is going down by 5 and then down by 15 late. So, yeah.
This is my go-to guy when I'm forced to play mid lane. Because I hate farming, and this guy ever since they changed him, farming I personally have found not really an issue. It's felt super easy.
Yeah.
So if you tell me it's going to be even easier after this, then I might just be a mid lane. I'm a Malzahar guy now.
Yep, 100%. So, it's definitely nice. I think I haven't played a ton of Malzahar in a while, but I have noticed when I have played him that sometimes the minions will actually your steal
Yeah,
your
they
last
will do
hit
that
a
sometimes.
lot of the
Yeah.
time, which is really annoying. And I think that's what they were aiming at in this. Um, they were trying to make sure that it's much faster reaction so that it will not have the minions steal your gold.
That makes
uh,
sense. That makes
yes,
sense. Ellis is like
so
a big Malzahar player. Was he, I'd be curious if he was thinking this would be nice.
I think so. Yeah, I think that's pretty much what he was going on about.
Okay.
He wanted to make sure that it was really nice. I think this is kind of interesting. I wonder if this is going to play a factor. They do say that it's not gonna matter as much, but I wonder if it is.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
That's
the kind of thing you don't know till you try it.
exactly. I think it'll be fine though. Because it's like it's a burn type of thing, right? The Malefic Vision, so
Yeah.
it should be fine. It should help you. But overall, I mean, it's nice for Malzahar. It's not gonna put him into like S tier or anything like that. He's fine. Okay, so Milio, here's your little flame buddy. Uh,
Yeah, geez, they're just buffing all my supports this patch. This is nice.
yeah. So you got Q damage is increased, E base shield strength is increased, and then it says with Milio nerf to reduce his pro play presence, we wanted to introduce some less pro skewed buffs that are focused less on team fights where coordination maximizes output. This also gives him the option to take matters into his own hands, maxing Q earlier on and converting AP into even more success. Gold scaling and late game power tend to be more represented in solo queue than pro play, where players intentionally fall off of minion waves and turrets to focus more resources on the carries. You deserve that gold, Melio. So we got the Q Ultra Mega Fire Kick, magic damage going up or down. Base, okay, so base is
Down,
going,
but the scaling's up. Yeah.
okay, interesting. So they're wanting him to buy more AP, I suppose.
Well, and also wait, it's down. Is it down rank one and then up?
Oh yeah, what the heck? So yeah, so it's down by 10 first level, up by 10 second level, up by 30 this third level, up by 40?
Yeah.
4, 5, 6. No, up by 50 level 4, and then it's up by 70, I think.
Hmm.
Yeah.
At least when I play him, I max Q. I put 1 point and then I max it last.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
so maybe I feel like this is them trying to like get us to experiment with putting more points in Q.
Yeah. Seems like maxing Q earlier on.
Yeah. Yeah, because
So
it's the last one that I'm maxing E and W like before Q
yep,
right
for
now.
sure. Okay. So I mean, this is pretty nice. Like also the AP ratio is going up by 30%, which is kind of huge. Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, definitely nice. Obviously, it's slightly. I'm not sure if this is a typo, but it is a slight nerf, level one. So that's I think they're just incentivizing people with only putting one level in. Then um, I hear, like you said, I hear it's E max and then W, or is it W then E? I think it's E then W and then Q,
I do
right?
some weird. This might not be the optimal one. I do some weird with him. I think I do like maybe kind of like with Karma. I put
During
a
Q.
couple points into no, not Q. I put a couple points into E and then I max W, I feel like.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
And then I come back to E and then save Q for the end.
I think that makes
Um,
sense.
but I could also be crazy. But that's yeah, that's how I remember building him. I wonder if we'll see
Yeah,
I
I mean,
could see this plus Lucian maybe creeping back up because it is pretty it is a pretty abusive lane duo.
yeah,
And with a little damage buff for Lucian plus the damage buff on this Q, I could see that being something, maybe.
yeah, for sure. Seems really nice. Like this is a lot of damage you're getting at the very end, especially. Um, even level three is pretty big.
Yeah.
Level two is
Yeah,
not
as long
huge
as
or
you
anything,
just have
but
to put a few, yeah, even if you don't want to max it, if you just get a couple points into it, yeah,
mhm.
it seems like it might be worth it.
Yeah, so that's pretty big, I think. E Warm Hug's shield strength is going up by 0, level 1, then 5, 10, 15, 20. So, I mean, yeah, it's pretty nice. It's the base shield as well, which is pretty good, especially if you're not building like a ton of AP, which you shouldn't really be. But you will
Yeah,
be
no,
getting it from
really.
the items regardless. And
Yeah, so maybe
then,
they want to steer people away from maxing W because both these changes say like put points in Q and E.
yeah, that must be what it is. Maybe they're everyone's maxing W first and then going E and then Q.
Yep. So they want to say like, they just drop one in W and then go with the
Giving him
Q and E.
options. Yep.
Yep. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Obviously, it gets the 5% AP as well, which is pretty nice as well, but nothing crazy. Okay, so overall, some nice buffs. Um, they've been nerfing him a lot lately, so it's kind of
Have been.
refreshing to see
Yeah.
him buffed back up a little bit. So, I mean, this is kind of big actually. I think he's definitely going to be seeing a lot more for sure.
Yeah, so far the Karma and the Amelia buffs are most interesting to me. Not just because I play them, but I think those are two of the bigger
Yeah, they are.
potential buffs that we'll need to kind of like test out.
Definitely, definitely.
Not the Lulu ones. Get out of here,
Yeah,
Lulu.
yeah. They're pretty small, but I mean, there's something, I guess. So we got Nefiri. So from what I've heard is that she's actually not very, or they, whatever you want to call them. I'm just gonna call her her. Um, she's not very strong in pro play or elite at all. But apparently she's actually has a pretty good win rate in low elo. So I think that's what they're going for. Because they're actually nerfing her um, pretty decent amount. So let's go ahead and get into it. So Nefiri, it's got the base armor, attack damage, and attack speed decrease. It's pretty big. Also, a lot of base stats, which is kind of nutty. Um,
Yeah.
Nefiri is settled a bit stronger than we think is healthy for her long term, especially in top lane, which is roughly on par with mid lane at the moment. The fact that she's consistently able to go toe to toe with bruisers and in brawls is a signal that her base fighting stats are a tad on the high side, so we're taking aim at both top and mid with these changes, but in a way that's hitting top a bit harder. So they're trying to force her into mid lane. They don't really want her into jungle or top very much, especially top. But So yeah, they're going base stats. Base armor goes from 32 to 30, so down by 2, and then base attack damage 57 to 55, so down by 2 again for attack damage, and then base attack speed is going from 0.688 to 0.663, which is like 25, 0.025 nerf. Um, I'm not sure how strong she is right now. What do you think?
Um, it's hard to say. She's kind of a weird champion. I feel like when I run into her, I don't I almost never have her gank my lane. So I normally like if she's mid, I normally don't interact with her until like the mid game.
Hmm.
And so I feel like it either goes two ways. She's either really strong, and then it feels like she just like point and clicks and like deletes me,
Yeah,
or my AD carry, or I feel like she's completely useless and she
agreed.
can't do anything. So it's kind of hard to say
100%.
like
Um,
how strong she actually is because I feel like it's so one way or the other with her right now.
Absolutely. I think this is obviously it's a nerf, so she's going to be even less strong than she was already. But I
Yeah.
think the only thing about her is that she has to hit her Q on you, the Q2, to get that healing. Otherwise, she is pretty much garbage, in my opinion. she's
Yeah.
she's somewhat fun to play, but most of the time she's kind of just more annoying, or she doesn't really do anything like you say. Feels like, for me when I played her, which I haven't played much of her, but I felt like her auto attacks did almost nothing, which for an AD champion is kind of strange to see. Um, but like maybe it's because I didn't have a lot of items at the time. I'm not sure exactly. But I think nerfing her probably isn't the right way to go. I think she should probably be buffed overall, but it's hard to say exactly. I think her lethality build is kind of interesting. I think it's probably her best builds right now, but yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say for sure. Yeah, either way. Let's move on to Nidalee. E80 scaling is added. Interesting. In this patch, we're looking to give AD Nidalee a little help in her Cougar form so her swipes pack some punch. We're not looking to make drastic changes to AD Nid, but just give her a little more support at the time. So that's interesting. She's adding 40% bonus AD to her E ability in Cougar form, it looks like. Yeah, just Cougar form. So,
I don't see it AD in Italy all that often, if
yeah, me
ever.
neither. I'm not sure where this is coming from, but I mean, I guess it's nice.
The Yeah, the only times I see Nidalee at the moment are they're trying to fit her into like a poke comp with like Kaisa, Chase, Nidalee. Um
Yeah, exactly.
and then obviously that Nidalee wants to build AP. So I don't know. I'm trying to think, is there like a hybrid item maybe that she would like now? Like she can get like I don't know. I don't know. I don't really see Nidalee's building AD that much, so I'm sure it's
Yeah,
nice to get bonus AD, but yeah,
exactly.
I don't know that it's gonna really change a whole lot about her.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, the only thing that I can think of that's hybrid in the game right now, from what I can off the top of my head, is sorry, no, Ginsu's Rageblade, which I don't think she would ever be building really.
Yeah, I
So
don't think she's buying that.
yeah, it's kind of strange. I mean, it's nice for her, like I said, but I don't think it's really gonna matter at all. I don't think it changes anything really. So cool, but meh. Uh, okay, so Roxai is getting a Q damage adjusted. Roxai has been performing far too well ever since her 13.11 update, and while she's been tapped down a couple of times in previous patches, she's still the absolute queen of the early game. Is still stronger than when she was than she was in 13.19 point 9. Ugh, English is hard. She simply can't have the level of early dominance she currently has, especially in higher skill brackets where players are better at warding, which she can bypass, and closing out early leads, which she easily secures. This change of converting Q into total attack damage is a damage nerf until level 13, where it turns into a buff and is also an extra incentive to finish maxing Q, since ranks now add functional base damage and gold scaling. So Queen's Wrath. Okay, so they're buffing. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Okay, so there's no base damage anymore. It's just so it goes from 21 to 45 base damage plus 50% bonus AD to 34 to 50% total AD. Well, they say it's a nerf until level 13.
And then it's a buff.
Yep. So I'm not sure what how this changes her exactly. I feel like it's probably a good thing to be weaker early as Rek'Sai and then stronger later because I don't think she's a super scale A champion. Um,
No, I feel like she's one that always falls off, so this might help that a bit.
yeah, for sure. What do you think about this?
Um, it Rek'Sai is one that can be a really impactful champion on the game. I do feel like when she gets like crazy fed early, she turns into almost like an assassin. Like she's one-shotting people, which I don't think is like what she is supposed to be able to do. So I think these changes are in the right direction because it should make her less likely to one-shot people early on, even if
Yeah,
she's, getting fed. And then I know anytime there's a fed Rek'Sai, I'm always just like, well, we just wait till later and she'll be just useless. So I think that's like pretty prevalent. So I don't know if the changes are enough to fix some of those issues, but I think they're in the right direction probably.
yeah, for sure. From what I can tell, she's not great low elo, and she's like really good in elite. So,
Yeah, I feel like most of that is the passive and knowing how to use like her tunnels to like the little like the
yeah,
blurb said they like get around wards, like using the tunnels to get around wards and
yeah,
then knowing where people are walking with the passive, like that's pretty OP.
for
But
sure,
yeah, you do have to be pretty good to abuse it.
definitely. Okay, so interesting. Not sure what this does to her in terms of like presence, but interesting. So Shaco's got base mana generation regeneration decreased, and W's mana cost is increased. So AP support Shaco has been more of a menace than usual in some skilled brackets due to his magical Jack in the Boxes. It's currently too easy for Shaco to counter multiple champions that want to engage by creating a minefield of boxes in lane and eventually the enemy jungle. So we want to increase the mana restrictions that prevent him from going on a box planting spree. So we got base stats going. Mana regeneration is going from 7.15 to 6, and then W Jack in the Box is going from mana cost of 50 to 70, depending on ranked, going to 70 at all ranks. So seems. I think this is good for me. I don't like playing Shaco. I don't like playing against Shaco. So.
Yeah, agreed. I hate running into the boxes and then they do all my health, so this
Yeah,
is good.
yeah, for sure. Um,
Fewer boxes sounds great.
absolutely. I think this is really good. I don't. I don't think he should be super strong, but I think he's, for me at least, I think it's your mastery of your champion. If you're really good at Shaco, he can be almost broken. And if
Yes,
you're
yeah.
bad at Shaco, he's like the worst champion in the game almost. So,
Yeah,
and
it's gonna make you be like get better at the champion versus being able to just spam boxes everywhere.
yeah,
Yeah. That
good
feels good.
stuff. Good stuff. All right, so we got Shyvana, WAOE, and on hit damages increased. Shyvana gained a lot of power in 13.14, and while she was tapped down in 13.15, and her AP builds are about where they were before, her AD builds have taken off. We'd like to keep AD as her optimal build, but it's just performing too well. This patch, we're weakening her lowest gameplay skill that only succeeds when she's stat checking her enemies. So W burnout damage per second is going. Um, so it's same. So the base is 20 to 70, going from 220 to 60. So same rank level 1, uh, down by 2 points, down by 5, down by 7, and then down by 10. And then the bonus AD is also going down by 10%, which is kind of a lot bigger than the. I guess the damage per second does matter, but the on hit damage is also going from 5 to 17.5. and it's going down to 5 to 13. It's definitely like noticeable. And then going from 7.5% bonus AD to 5% bonus AD scaling. What do you think?
She has been super strong in solo queue. So
Yeah.
I think change like nerfs are good. I think it'll make her less strong in fights, but I feel like it might also I think the W was really nice clearing some of the especially like the Raptors, like anything that has multiple targets, I feel like the W was nice to
Yeah, for
clear those
sure.
quick. So I have to like actually see, but I maybe she clears a little bit slower. But Shyvana's one I feel like they have a hard time balancing because like they said they like it when AD is her optimal build,
Hmm.
but she's just pretty fun to build full AP and
Yeah.
then throw the giant fireball out. So I feel like
Yeah.
when it's almost weird, like when AD isn't overtuned, then people are just gonna go back to the AP version. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's like she's a tough one to balance, but I do think the nerfs are probably good.
Yeah. So I don't see Shyvana almost ever anymore. I feel like she's a little bit more like professional or like elite skewed, but like not because people pick her there, but because people are a little better at her in higher elo.
Yeah.
Um, I think people abuse her quite a bit in low elo, Smurfs especially and stuff like that. With the AP, like you were saying, the AP Dragon Form, her E, is like the main thing that you use. But I don't think she's that great. I could be completely wrong. Apparently, she's really good. I'm not sure where they're seeing this exactly, what elos or anything, but I think W Burnout's one of her main, like all of her abilities are main abilities, but her E and her W are like very important to her kit, and W has always been like pretty much her best ability unless you're going full AP for the E.
Yeah.
Um, so this is definitely impactful. It definitely hurts her quite a bit, but I don't know if it's gonna stop people from picking her just because of this. Um, but yeah,
It probably won't. No, it probably won't. I feel like she'll still get picked. The
it's
people who are
definitely
picking her, I
big.
feel like are still gonna pick her.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I don't know. It's definitely big. I'm okay with her going full AD. I'd prefer not having the AP ever existing. Uh,
Yeah.
I'm cool with her
Yeah.
building a little bit of AP if she wants like maybe like Ginsu's or something crazy.
Yeah, on hit's fine. Yeah, but just
Yeah,
like the full AP, like
just the
that's a
ease.
little much.
Yeah, I think there's not much counterplay, and I understand it's a little bit longer of a cooldown in Dragon Form, and that's what you use it for. But I think that's what they should be nerfing overall, just the damage of it. It doesn't have to be a huge nerf, but like, yeah, I
Yeah,
don't know.
maybe instead of
Maybe
having
the
to
scaling.
buff the AD to the point where it's the most popular, you could just nerf the AP a bit, and then
Yeah,
people would still gravitate towards the AD.
yeah. I'm pretty sure the only reason people build AP on her is for the E in Dragon Form.
Yeah,
So I think if you just
100%.
hit
Yeah.
that, you don't really have a problem. But it's definitely interesting. I think it's somewhat big, um, but I don't play her a ton to know for sure. So hard to say for me. Either way, let's go on to Stylus. We got base mana is increased. So we got regular Stylus players frequently run out of mana as they max W. Yeah, I do this too. Whereas pro players Pro Stylus max Q, and this buff is primarily intended to reduce how mana gated Stylus is in regular play, but it's also a change pros will value due to it being a base stat increase. So base mana going up by 90. That's pretty nice. Yeah, I think it's really nice. Obviously, pros can use this a little better, but yeah, that's interesting. Pretty big. I think we'll probably definitely see him at Worlds. I would say.
I like Silas in
Yeah.
pro play. There's like champions that are cool to see in pro play, and then some where you're like, oh, I don't want this champion. Like
Yeah.
Silas is fun because he like I feel like he brings a lot of excitement. The stealing of the alts is super cool.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm happy. Yeah, anything Silas is good pro champion. I am excited. Anything to see him. That is fine.
100%. Um, Also another thing, I don't know if this is still good, but I noticed Viego's slightly coming back in pro play. I'm not sure
Yeah.
about the other region. Have you seen him much in Korea?
Not as much,
Not
no.
as much. Okay, so it's probably just NA. I'm not sure about EU. But he's mostly just been. I think it's actually mostly just Pioshik. But either way,
Yeah.
um, Viego is kinda kind of strong with Silas. I think that combo, Silas Viego, is like really. I don't know if it's still broken, but it's definitely pretty strong. So I think buffing half of that combination is pretty nice. So definitely gonna be big. I wonder if we'll see that combination at Worlds because they can just steal everything. Silas steals your ult, and Viego steals your body and your kit. So it's great. Either way. So we got target dummy. Legend has it. No champion has ever taken down this foe. It fears nothing except bugs. Bugs scare it. Okay, interesting. It's in the champions section. Target dummy recently threw its Teemo hat into the arena, but so far, its performance has. Oh, this is the arena change, right? So, uh,
Oh, yeah, yeah, okay, okay,
yeah.
yes.
So far, its performance has been not so great. In this patch, we're looking to eliminate target dummy sluggishness by buffing up its movement speed and fixing a few bugs that kept it from being its tankiest self. Also, I guess you can test move speed effects and high damage spells better or whatever. Oh, okay, I see. Gotcha. So basically, oh, sorry. Basically, now you can see how much your slowing ability actually slows if it has like a base move speed. Interesting. I didn't even think about that to be honest, but that's definitely useful. So it goes from 0 to 370 for the base stat of movement speed. We got minimum health is 1 instead of 100. I like that. I was also always kind of weirded out that it was a 100 at the minimum you could do
Yeah,
to
good
take it down
change.
to.
Good change.
Good change. It's a good buff for him. Living life a
Yeah.
lot closer to the edge. Okay, bug fixes hit me with your best shot. Maximum amount of single instance of damage the target dummy can take is no longer 900 and is now the dummy's maximum health minus 1. What? Single instance of damage. Okay, so I guess he could
Oh,
only take
apparently
max of 900 before.
900. Okay.
And
I haven't played enough Arena to know for sure, but
yeah, I'm not sure. Okay. I'm assuming this is also for a practice tool as well, but I mean, I could be wrong.
oh yeah, probably. Probably.
Interesting. Cool, I guess. Uh, do you have thoughts or
On Target Dummy? No. No thoughts. No thoughts on Target Dummy.
okay. I mean, it's a great champion. They should add that actually.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Just be like Fiddlesticks, but without the scarecrow portion.
Ooh, exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so Tristana, we got base armor and armor growth increased, base health and magic resistance decreased. Um, Tristana has been terrorizing the mid lane in pro play recently, as she's simultaneously a hard to gank lane bully and a solid late game scaling crit marksman. We'd like her to be largely unaffected by these changes in bot lane, where physical damage is more prevalent, but be weaker against mages who should be able to fight back. Base stats go from base armor goes 26 to 30, armor growth 4.2 to 4.5, base magic resist from 30 to 28, and then base health from 670 to 640. So yeah, they're trying to make sure she's not in mid lane anymore, and I think that's fine. I don't actually think she's that great mid lane anymore. Um, I think it's I'm not sure if it's just like some placebo thing that pros see, or just the fact that they want to have two marksmen and she's one of the better ones since Lucian isn't super strong mid. Um, I mean, these are all fine. I don't really have a problem with any of this. I think this is fine. Maybe the base health is maybe a bit much, but what do you think?
Yeah, they are 100% trying to move her back to the bot lane. So I think I don't know if it will. I don't know if it'll. They're picking her for two reasons. One, because it's kind of a safe lane that can also, if they get like like a jungle advantage. They can like all in and get a kill. So that might be nerfed a little bit, but I feel like they also pick her just for the tower pushing ability,
Hmm.
and they didn't really hit anything with that. So I feel like she'll probably still get played.
Yeah, she might. I kind of hope she isn't, but well, it's hard to say for sure. I don't think this is takes her completely out of mid lane, but it's definitely a hit for sure. I mean, 30 health is
Yeah,
pretty not
yeah,
great
for
early,
sure.
and then down by two matches. This is definitely something. It's not.
Yeah, maybe now like her first like couple levels is just unplayable in some matchups now. So maybe yeah, it'll
Yeah,
just force her out of the mid lane. It's possible.
it's hard to say. I'm not exactly sure what AP there is usually played against her. I think I've seen maybe a Zir and like I don't think Victor's been played a whole lot recently, but I think that's one of her not as great matchups. But it
Yeah.
can be okay, in my experience. So I'm not sure. But yeah, it's interesting. I think the armor is actually somewhat big, for bot lane especially. I mean, just in general, being able to survive a lot longer because she's pretty squishy, especially when she jumps in to get that proc and as well as the slow. Um, that's her main problem. It's she's really squishy. So this is super nice actually. Yeah, I'm cool with it. As an ADC player that doesn't really play just mid much, so I approve.
Yeah. No, no, it's fine. Yeah, I
Alright, so we
think
got
it's fine.
Wukong, mana regeneration growth is increased, Q mana cost is decreased, W mana cost decreased. Wukong has been a highly contested pro jungler this season, but he hasn't been performing well in solo queue. In order to put power back into his kit without much pro play risk, he's had low presence for the past two matches. We'll be reducing the mana cost of his abilities to increase his trade frequency, which should help him in the top lane significantly more than jungle. So we got mana regeneration growth going from 0.65 to 0.8, and then Q crushing blow mana cost going from 40 to 20. The W warrior trickster is going mana cost from, wow, these are really nice actually. From 60 to 40 all the way from to 60 to 40. Wait, 80 to 40 to 60 to 40, sorry. Yeah, this is really nice. Just overall really
Yeah,
nice.
maybe Lane Wukong kind of makes a comeback here because I don't see him too much outside of jungle these days.
Yeah, pretty much. I think his lane's pretty decent. I think actually I'm not 100% sure about his matchups, but yeah, I think he's pretty good. I don't think he's like best in slot or anything, but he's probably like decent into some picks or somewhat blindable depending on what you ban maybe. So yeah, I think he's really nice. You have any additional thoughts or?
No, I like Wukong's a fun champ to see in pro play. I feel like he's pretty exciting to watch, and you can do some cool stuff with the warrior trickster and all. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's just a fun champ to see as well. So I don't mind them trying to find a way to bring him back slightly. Uh, but I do agree with their statement. I really don't see him almost at all in solo queue. So um, if that's the goal of this, I think that's cool.
Yeah, I think this will definitely help. The going from 20 to 40 to 20 is actually kind of nice, like really nice for his Q. 20 mana,
Yeah,
that's like
yeah,
Nasa's Q. It costs like nothing.
yep,
Um,
yeah. He'll be able to spam that without really any issues now.
yeah, and that's like my favorite part. So, all right.
Yeah, I think
Obviously,
would you use it to farm maybe like as a farming
you
tool now?
can now, I would say.
Like that's what I mean. Now it goes down to 20, so that could actually be a even bigger change if you can just use that to like last it and farm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mostly you're just using it for poke. But like
makes
even
sense.
still, like just overall, it's really good. It's really nice. And then the mana growth
Nice.
is definitely not something that's not too bad either. It's the regeneration, I mean. Um, but I think the W just going from 80 to 60 flat is like already super nice. Um,
Yeah.
it might be a little too strong, I wonder, but I think it'll be okay. I mean, it's not going to be broken or anything, but I think his W is part of his most like annoying part of his kit when you're playing against him, because he can just go in straight up invis. Um, and he can, I mean, if you're going only 60 mana every time, it's pretty cheap to spam that thing out whenever you need to. So
Y- Yep.
pretty annoying. All right, so we got all right. We're done with champions. Nice. We got the items. So Axiom Arc is going. Um, actually, you
Cooldown
want to?
refund up. Oh, what
Yeah.
were you saying?
No, no, go ahead. I was just saying. Yeah, so it's going from 5% to 10%. I was gonna say, do you want to go down on the items? Just read everything.
Um, yeah. Yeah, you've been doing a lot of a lot of talking with the champions. So yeah, let's see. Axiomark. So top of the list, it's alphabetical, so you can't get
Yes,
any more
sir.
A's than Axiomark. Reworked, let's just say rework Axiomark changes weren't quite enough to put this new item on the radar for users, so we're going a bit riskier with the ultimate cooldown refund in hopes that it will help the item find its place on the Rift. We'll be keeping a close eye on this change to ensure it's shaping up as we hope, and we'll make more changes if necessary. And yeah, they're just lethality percentage is the same,
Yep.
but the ultimate cooldown refund is going up by 5%, which 5% maybe on paper you're like it's not big, but I feel like the alts are typically your longest cooldowns, so even 5% more refund can
Yeah.
be pretty big. I don't know. I don't know who I really see use Axiomark, which maybe is the point of this changes. I'm trying to think champions I see who build it
It's not a lot. It's
normally.
somewhat niche.
I built it on Ash on ARAM. That's like the only like I'm trying to think if I see it normally, so maybe that's the point. Um,
Yeah, find its place on the
lethality
rift, like you're saying.
users, yeah, who want access to their alts more. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if it'll
Yeah.
bring it back or not. I feel like it's probably not enough, but
Yeah, I think it's still a niche item. I mean, going from 5 to 10 is pretty nice already, but I think the change that they did to make it actually scale with lethality is actually pretty nice, and it's a little underutilized for sure. This is
yeah.
a pretty good item, but it's like I said, it's niche. It's like if you're Zed, if you're who else? Maybe Talon, stuff
Yeah,
like them.
Zed, Talon,
Very
yeah.
reliant on their ultimates and need the like one or two quick one shots, and then you can start doing stuff again.
Yep. I think
Um,
if they want like everybody to buy it, they need to do more with it, but I don't know that that item needs to be like widespread.
yeah, exactly. That's pretty nice, but overall, just kind of fun.
All right. Duskblade of Drakthar. I hate this item, by the way. Let's see. Duskblade frequently finds itself in the hands of what is that, fighter champions, which is something that we've looked to curb in the past. Agree. However, it's also overperforming on assassins in general. The low cooldown on its active is a big reason fighters like this item, so we're opting to increase the cooldown substantially to discourage them from picking it up while reducing missing health damage, excuse me, to bring the item's overall strength down, which we will be offsetting for assassins by buffing lethality legendaries this patch. So they are upping the cooldown, which I think is fantastic, and they're bringing down the missing health damage, but they said they're gonna compensate for it elsewhere.
Yep.
I think this is just great. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not. I don't play any champions that use this, so maybe I'm not like the best person to say if it's good or not. But I will say that it felt like the invulnerability up way too often
That's fair.
to
So
me. Yeah,
my thoughts on this item is kind of interesting. So originally, Best Bit of Drakthar was an item that would make you invisible, like true invisibility, anytime
yeah,
you got a takedown. No cooldown on that part, it didn't matter. Um, so the fact that it has a cooldown right now already is kind of a nerf from what it was, and the fact that it's
true,
only untargetability instead of true invisibility, which is the same thing as untargetability. So you can still see where the champion's heading off to, but before you couldn't when he had true invisibility. So I'm not sure why people are picking. I know why they're picking it, because when they did all the changes to Prowler's Claw, Duskblade, and Prowler's Claw's not on here, or Ghostblade's not on this list, but Ghostblade, when those were the three main mythics and they buffed a lot of Ghostblade, I think it was what preseason. Um,
Yeah.
this item was kind of garbage, and so was Prowler's Claw because Prowler's Claw's only big use before that change was it was a dash. The only other dash in the game, item-wise, was well, Stridebreaker was removed, so like the dash from it was completely removed, so that didn't exist. The only other dash was Gale Force, which had crit and stuff applied to it. So um, Duskblade was kind of garbage. I'm not sure why everyone's picking it up. I think the reason is because they nerfed Ghostblade a bit, so it's not the go-to anymore. Um, and Prowler's Claw is just complete. I don't. This item is terrible. We'll get into it, but um, in my opinion, it's really garbage. Uh, so I think I'm not 100% sure. Like, I don't think it needs nerfs, but
You know what I think it is? I just realized it. It's worse on paper, even before these nerfs, but I think it's more annoying slash it's got like a weird buff to it at lower elos because okay, if I because I can see the person,
yeah.
my like all like very frequently I will see the person and then I like don't equate that he's invulnerable, so I'm throwing abilities at him.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So I think at
Yep.
low elos, like myself included, when they went invisible, I didn't waste stuff on him because I was like, okay, I have to wait till I see him, and then I'll throw my rotation out to like try and blow up the assassin.
Yeah.
Now I'm like in the middle of a team fight, I can't like equate that, so I'm wasting abilities, and then when the character's invulnerability is up, I have nothing left to like actually get him. So I just yeah, that's why I don't like it. I
That's
just gotta
fair.
put two
Yeah.
and two together. It's because I'm bad. I figured it out. I figured it out.
So the other thing is that they obviously the other changes that they did to the item back in the day was that they added this bonus damage on your abilities, and that's like the main reason why people are picking it up because most
Yeah.
people that buy this item are dealing damage with their abilities, like they're not auto attacking as much, and specifically they're trying to target fighter champions to not have this anymore. Um,
Yep.
they don't want fighter champions buying it, like Aatrox, stuff like that. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a nice nerf, I guess. I don't think it really stops. Maybe the cooldown does stop people from buying it as much. That might be what it is. But
I feel
yeah,
like it was popping multiple times per team fight, so
yeah,
that doesn't happen anymore, I feel like.
definitely.
Yeah.
But yeah, interesting. I think it's fine, but we'll see if people stop buying it as much. We'll see.
Prowler's Claw, everyone's favorite lethality item.
Can you
So
see the words, by the way?
yeah, I can see the
Okay,
words.
okay, good.
Yeah, yeah. Prowler's Claw current cooldown is a bit too long for a lot of users that would like to pick this item. So we're lowering the cooldown to help make it more accessible for these champions while slightly increasing the damage it can provide to make it a more worthwhile purchase. They are lowering the cooldown on the active by 5 seconds, and then they are giving it some damage back. Let's see, 85, 65. So yeah, right? They're giving it a little bit more damage, I think.
Yeah, I think it's this that changed. Yeah.
Yeah. And the percent bonus AD. Okay. I don't know. I don't think this item's very good.
Yeah, I have to agree. This item's really not great. I think the cooldown going to 5 seconds could probably fix some of the problems with it, but if you're not already buying this item, you're not going to be buying it more likely. People might try it out and maybe they'll say that it's okay, or it's better. I think the percentage bonus AD is pretty nice, going up by 10% for melee, which is mostly what you're going to be using.
Yeah.
You're not going to be buying this on
Yeah,
range
for
champion
sure.
pretty much ever. Like,
No,
why
yeah,
would you ever buy
definitely
this
not.
on Vayne or like Lucian?
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This item's like I said, like you said, it's pretty not great. Um, but maybe this actually does do enough for it to be bought more. It's hard to say for sure, but I mean going
Yeah,
down to 5 seconds is pretty good.
the cooldown could. I'm just trying to think how the fights will play out. Maybe you are dashing multiple times in a skirmish now, so that could be
Yeah.
that could be pretty big, but I just don't. I'd have to see. I don't think enough characters build it right now, and I don't think the change will make characters. How do I put this? I don't think characters that weren't already buying it are going to buy Prowler's Claw
Yeah.
because of the changes. I think just the ones who were buying it are going to be like
Stronger.
a bit stronger now. Yeah.
Hmm. Definitely.
Serpent's Fang. Serpent's Fang. So as far as its assassin users are concerned, Serpent's Fang is sitting at a reasonable power level, but remains a niche purchase. So we'd like to give it some more generic power to help break it out of the only purchase versus shielder's position it's found itself in. A small lethality buff should help this item be a bit more desirable for any assassin looking to shred shields. Little 3 lethality buff on the item. So I don't know that that does too much, but
I don't
uh,
understand
I
this.
kind of I kind of disagree with the overall. I don't understand the change. I kind of disagree with the overall philosophy, maybe.
Yeah.
I enjoy when there are niche items in the game.
Yeah, 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 for
Like
sure.
I like an item that I will never build, but I can build versus like Serpent's Ring. Like if they have a lot of shields, like if I build this in that case, it can really swing the game in my favor. Like I like items that you have to kind of be smart about when you buy.
Hmm.
So I don't know that you need to like force every item to be like applicable in all scenarios.
Yeah, it's a good point actually. I think this is like this change doesn't follow with the philosophy that they're trying to do, I think. But
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
it's nice. Like it's definitely nice. Up three is pretty good, but like it's not going to change whether you bought this item or not. The only reason you're buying this item is if the enemy has like
Shields,
two
yeah.
maybe or three or five
Yep.
shields. Pretty much is like the only reason you're buying this item. So I don't
Yep.
know. It's
And
nice.
looks like the very similar change here for Umbral Glaive.
Yeah.
Umbral Glaive isn't as strong as it needs to be, often letting down the champions that this item naturally synergizes with. Hello, Pike. We're giving it a small lethality buff to make it slightly more dangerous in the hands of its users. 3 lethality. I mean, basically same thing with Serpent's Fang. It's
Yeah.
nice. Um,
Doesn't
I
doesn't
only
change why
build
you
this
buy it.
item on what do I buy? I build this item on
Senna?
Senna, support Senna. Yeah, I build this item on. I think that's the only champion I build it on right now.
Yeah, I don't think people play support Pantheon anymore really, so
Uh-uh. No.
I don't know.
But
It's nice, but like not why you're buying the item. But it's I think this is fine though, because like I do think these items had a little bit too small of lethality, to be honest. So
yeah,
this is it's nice for sure.
I think it just makes you feel better. Yeah, I don't get it. Just makes you feel like okay, if I have to buy Serpent's Fang because there's a lot of shields, I feel like a little bit better about buying it.
Yeah, not as
You
not
know
as
what I
much of
mean?
a
So I
waste
think
of a inventory slot.
yeah, kind of like like when you buy QSS and you're like against like you don't need it, but you have to buy it because you need it against like Skarner or Mordekaiser, and you're like, well, this is kind of a waste, but I have to buy it. It's kind of like that idea. Like you still
Yeah.
have to buy it for that like niche cause, but you'll feel a little bit better about it.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we're not gonna do arena adjustments in this. If you guys would like to see us do this, I think we'd both be interested, right? Would you be down to record some arena patch notes at another point in time
Yeah,
if people are
yeah,
interested?
I could be done.
All
Yeah,
right.
I'll have to if people yeah, I'll have to put in a couple more hours of arena gameplay, and then I'll feel qualified
Dude,
to
arena is all I've been
speak on
playing.
it.
I don't know about you.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
'cause
yeah.
it
I
feels
haven't
like a
played
game
enough of
mode,
it. Yeah.
and I don't want it to be gone, and then I won't be able to play it then. So I don't
Yes, agreed. Agreed. I am I only play if I have a duo. That's the only thing with it.
Yeah,
So like I don't
yeah.
like going I've played it like once or twice solo and it just isn't as fun. So yeah. But yeah, no, I think maybe we should get some arena games in at some point. That'd be cool.
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm down. I just gotta find the time. I got you though. So yeah, we'll do that maybe another time if you guys are down. Just let us know in the comments. Yeah, Arena's really fun. I hope they don't. I think that they're saying is they're probably gonna keep it as a permanent mode, but they had to change some stuff about it or something. That's what I heard, but that was like a month, maybe like half a month ago or something. So I'm not sure what's happened since then. But yeah, we got surrender quality of life updates. Okay, so this is actually kind of nice. So it says it's no secret that some players use surrender alerts to project their dissatisfaction with either the current game state or their teammates. While it's okay to get frustrated while you're struggling in the game, we don't think it's okay to misuse features within League to bother and harass teammates. With this change, we're looking to restrict surrender vote spamming and make the act of calling surrender a little bit more a team action. We're also taking some time to make sure the surrender process is a bit cleaner overall. So the name of the player that started a surrender vote is no longer revealed. That's quite interesting. I think that's probably good, but it could also be bad if you want to like report them after for giving up. After starting a surrender vote, the player that started the surrender vote will not be able to or would not be able to begin another vote for 6 minutes. Note the team cooldown on calling for a surrender vote remains unchanged at 3 minutes and takes priority over individual cooldowns. So it's pretty much the same, but people can't just spam it if it's the same person.
Yeah, and you don't know the name of the players and all, and you don't know who starts the vote.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
And
so
then surrender vote will automatically resolve when a vote can no longer pass, and will no longer remain open waiting for players to vote.
yeah,
Surrender
that's
vote will
fine.
automatically resolve.
Senator vote automatically resolve when a vote can no longer pass. Oh, so basically that means
Oh,
like
okay,
if
yeah,
if you need like four votes and
yeah, yeah.
you already have two no's, it's not gonna just sit there. It's gonna disappear.
Nice. Yep, that's good. I
Yeah.
like that.
Yep.
Surrender box text has been updated to reflect the type of surrender vote being called. Oh, okay, interesting. Cool.
And you know if it's like a remake,
Yeah, I
true
like that.
surrender or like AFK surrender. Yeah.
Cool. All right, so these are
Seems
all
good.
great. Great quality of life. Aram adjustments, don't worry about that. Clash Cup's coming up in August. Oh, that was last week. Wait, no, the
All right.
registration begins. Never mind.
Okay,
No,
okay,
it's
okay,
it's
okay, okay.
upcoming. It's the
This
next.
weekend. This
Yep,
weekend.
exactly.
Yeah.
Uh, cool. Anyways, Mythic Shop rotation. We got quality of life bug fixes. Um, let us know in the comments if you would be interested in reading through the bug fixes because sometimes, honestly, some of these bug fix changes can actually be like buffs or nerfs to champions. So I think these are actually what's the word? Underappreciated sometimes.
Underreported on. People
Yeah,
don't
for
read them,
sure.
and then yeah.
Uh, so yeah,
But they are less exciting than the champion changes,
yeah, for
but
sure, for sure.
sometimes they're important. Yeah.
All right, so skins and chromas. We got a Mortal Journey Kale, Mortal Journey Shyvana, Sona, Soraka, Zed, Zeri, and we got a Prestige Immortal Journey Sona. Got
Nice.
some nice chromas and stuff too for all of those guys, and then that's it. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys for watching. Drew, where's a good place people can find you?
They can find me. Jeez, where I don't really stream on Twitch currently, so probably just I'll just say go check out my website, poolcomics.com. I have a comic book up there, so
Poolcomics.com?
yeah, but like pool, like Pull,
Oh, oh.
pool, not pool comics. Although that would be a
Oh,
good
oh.
spin-off now that I think about it.
Okay, my bad, my bad. Here,
No,
let's
I
bring it
like
up here.
that. I like that.
Oh, okay. I,
No,
I
yeah,
think
that
I've read
is.
some stuff on here.
Yeah.
Is
So
that you?
that's pretty much it. I'm not doing too much at the moment, but I do, yeah, that'll also link to the Twitter and all that good stuff. So,
Nice.
um, if I start streaming again or firing, I have been playing on a Baldur's Gate, so I've considered streaming Baldur's Gate.
Cool. How
Yeah.
do we
So,
get to your or is this all of you? How do we get to your page? Is
um,
there a page that's like just your stuff or?
no, it's just all me. Yeah,
Oh,
it's all
this
me.
is all you?
Yeah, that's my
Nice.
website. The
Awesome.
whole website's mine.
Let's go.
Yup, yup, yup.
Well, we got a Twitter. Let's link that real fast. Pull comics. There we go. Pull
Yep,
comics.
yep.
And
There you go.
then um, you said you have Twitter or like a that you want people to
No, that
follow
is
or
just
not a
Twitter.
separate?
No, I don't have a personal Twitter,
Okay, and then what's your
unfortunately. I
Twitch
don't make
again?
one. Drubert. But
This one?
underscore. Drubert underscore. Yeah, with
Perfect.
both
All right,
sense.
so Drubert underscore. I'll link the stuff in the description as well. But
Yeah, cool.
yeah. All right, nice. We got some Final Fantasy 14 online. Let's go.
Up with some League of Legends.
All right. Well, anyways, thank you all for watching. Thanks for checking us out, and let us know how you like the comment or the patch notes. We're hoping to do some more of these every time the patch comes out. So yeah. All right. See you guys later. Peace.